Hello and welcome. I'm here to talk to you about eclipses, and I'm so sorry I'm late. It's been an interesting journey today because I tried to connect my Riverside and I went live from Riverside thinking it was connected to YouTube. And I've just finished recording like half an hour of talking on Riverside all about eclipses and went to check and nothing. You've got like 22 minutes of just. You've got like 20. Oh, sorry, that was me on my phone. You've got 22 minutes of a blank screen. So I'm so sorry that that's how it's worked out. I am not used to this technology of streaming yet, so it's been a bit of a journey. A learning journey, but that's eclipses for you. They're unpredictable and things don't go as you expect. And also, I've got a little kitten here who's very interested in everything that's going on. So I'm sorry if she interrupts and makes noises, but they like to add their energy to everything that we're doing. So I am here to talk to you about eclipses and particularly the Pisces and Virgo eclipse. And I'm very excited to let you know that Asteri Sophia Kairos, I'm part of this astrology collective with 4 other astrologers. We're all certified. Most of us met through the Nightlight Astrology School. A big shout out to our teacher, Adam Elabas, and also all of the tutors that support him because they're all wonderful. They all work really hard to make sure we're fully understanding everything that we're learning. And it's been a wonderful journey that we've been on. And we all met through a study group that we were all in, and we all just didn't want to stop. Like as soon as the course finished, we wanted to carry on working together, studying together, and just sharing our knowledge and sharing it with you as well. So this is what we're doing. Yep, she's playing. So I'm sorry for the extra noise. She is going to play and do eclipses with us. So, yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. I'm going to try and share my screen. I hope this is going to work. Yeah, I hope you can see it. I can't see what you can see. I can only see the screen. So I hope that you're looking at a beautiful presentation, a promo that Krista made of the live event for the Eclipse workshop. And it tells you that it's on March the 12th. And we're looking at Pisces and Virgo in particular, because that's the energy that we're moving into right now. We had one eclipse, a lunar eclipse in Pisces in 2024. And coming up in March, we've got one in Virgo. So then we'll have experienced both. And we'll also have some 2024 finishing up at energy with an eclipse in Aries as well. So that'll be finishing up the. Quite often you have like 18 months of just Pisces and Virgo, but you also have like some cha-cha dancing and some sort of tidying up at either end where there's 1 or 2 eclipses in the old energy that's finishing up. So we've got an Aries eclipse as well in March. And then from what my American astrologer friends call the fall and what I call autumn, in September, we'll have pure Pisces and Virgo for the next 18 months. So that's the energy that we're moving into. And we've called this workshop Eclipse Portals 2025, Fate, Flow and Transformation. And 2025 is quite a transformational year anyway. We're moving into some big movements. We've got the outer planets moving, and we've got Pluto moving into new degrees that we haven't experienced before. In 2023 and 2024, it made its move into Aquarius, but it was moving backwards and it was moving back into Capricorn. But now it's fully in Aquarius and it's starting to reach new degrees that we haven't experienced. And then we've got Neptune moving into Aries. And at the same time, we've got Saturn moving into Aries. It will move back into Pisces, but to have both of them moving together and then they're going to nearly meet, they're going to kiss, they're going to be in the same degree, but they're not going to totally meet until 2026. So 2026 is the full immersion into that new energy, but 2025 is like the bridging year where we're introducing ourselves to what's going to be the energy for maybe the next 30 years. This is like the introduction, like the pilot episode, if you like, for what we're going to experience. So to have new energy in eclipses as well, and also in this Pisces Virgo axis, where so much of the energy is focused. And March is like the biggest month of the year as well, because so much of it is happening in March. Neptune moves right at the end of March. we've got the eclipses in March, and we've also got both. Sorry, she's not allowed to claw at the sofa. Mimi, stop. We've also got both Venus and Mercury retrograding back from Aries to Pisces. So this Pisces has got so much of the celestial spotlight right on it. And then it's going to turn that spotlight off and on again, like that reset, like when you do your computer off and on again. It's like such a thing, isn't it? There's so many jokes about have you turned it off and on again. But think of like an eclipse, the world being turned off and on again. What does that mean? And we're going to be exploring that with you. So who are we, Asterosophia Kairos? And what does Asterosophia Kairos even mean? Well, we came up with Asterosophia was the first names that were floated, but it didn't sound quite right on its own. So we were playing with this. It's the wisdom of the stars. Asterosophia, I mean, it's Sophia being the wisdom, and the stars, Asteroi, staring up at the stars is so beautiful words. And then Kairos just landed in meditation. That's what so often happens with me. And it just completed it. And of course, together it spells ask, A-S-K. You just have to ask. Just ask the universe, ask the planets, ask us. Just ask. If you think of it and then you verbalize it and ask, speak it out into the world. And that's what we're doing with the workshop. Just ask. Come to us, ask us those questions. Ask me in the comments. So just ask. That's who we are, and that's what we want you to do. We want to share our knowledge, and we want you to ask us, and we hope we'll be able to answer, and if we don't, we'll try and find out. So who are we? Celestia Astrology, Sonia, that's myself. Krista is from Practical Astrology. Shauna is Smart Astro. We love her name. And Mandy Ray is Ecstatic Astrology, and Janessa is By Jove Astrology. So you can find us all individually on social media, and our websites are all of those names with a .com. Shauna, you can find at smartastro@gmail.com. And we've all got at gmail.com addresses if you want to email us individually. Do follow us on our websites. Do follow us on social media, and do follow Ask as well. Like and subscribe. It is the energy. It's our currency. Engage with us, and that's how you can support us. And these slides don't want to shift. Here we go. So what is this workshop going to be about? Workshop insights. What we hope you will take away is some understanding of decoding eclipses. And eclipses are these profound celestial events that always captivate humanity, this sense of the lights going out and back on again. For ancients, these lights were so important, because like for us, still the sun marks our year and our months. When the sun moves into a new sign, that marks the month. Does it? She questions herself. But certainly our sun signs are marked when the sun moves. And the moon also marks our weeks and our months, but the moon travels in this serpentine way. But as the sun travels the ecliptic, rising every day, do you ever doubt that the sun's going to rise? Do you ever wake up and wonder if the sun has risen? No, we don't doubt it. We know, even if it's cloudy, the sun is behind there shining. But can you imagine for those ancients who didn't understand eclipses? We predict them. We know they're going to happen. Astrologers are talking about them on the internet. But imagine if you didn't know and suddenly the sun went out during the day. How scary that would be. And then they noticed very quickly and very early that leaders would rise or fall in this time, kings. The Babylonians even had a substitute king. They would send their king off to be a peasant and for a couple of weeks, and they would place some poor person. I hope they would have volunteered to dress as king and be a substitute king, so that whatever ill effects they thought the eclipse would bring would happen to this substitute king rather than the actual king who was living as a peasant for that time, to try and evade the baleful rays, as they were called. And sometimes people wouldn't want to go out in those baleful rays, that they were thought to be negative events. But quite often that's because they can sweep things away from our lives, things that we may have needed to let go of, but somehow we cling to them because they bring us comfort in a way, or they're patterns, old patterns that we can't quite let go of. And yet these eclipses will come in and sweep them away. Chris Brennan calls them great beginnings and great endings. And we see that happening in the collective, we see it in society, on the news, and it also happens in our lives. But in our lives, they can be small, these great beginnings and endings. They can be disappointing. You know, if you're trying to track them at first, you notice that they're just seeds, seeding moments. And even the endings, it just tails out. It's not always dramatic. But we'll cover more of that in the workshop. So they can be powerful portals of transformation, whether it's dramatic or whether it's a tiny seeding moment that doesn't seem significant to you at the time. But when you look back on that date, you realize that that was the moment that something started, the seemingly insignificant meeting of someone who grew to be really important in your life, or the start of an idea that grew to be really important in your life. So it offers us this glimpse into the ebb and flow of the cosmic energies, into the way that they work, and the astrology and the way that we can look at our charts gives us this insight into decoding it and a way to kind of find our way through it. So in this workshop, we'll be delving deep into these mysteries. We'll be looking at some of the myths that are associated, some of the astrology and some of the astronomy of it. We'll be uncovering some of the hidden wisdom and insights that they hold for us personally. We'll be looking at the symbolic significance of eclipses, how they catalyze meaningful change in our lives. So this is for you if you have an interest in astrology, some basic understanding. It may be challenging if you're a total beginner and totally new, but we will walk you through it. And we have the workbook, and that will break things down even more, and we will answer your questions. So if you want to know more about the Pisces and Virgo eclipses specifically, this is what we're aiming to do. We're going to offer practical suggestions for you, for example, rituals, and we'll have a case study on a very well-known couple, and that will help you recognize how eclipse stories can impact our lives long after they have passed. So, and also just to get you to practice your eclipse recognizing muscles as well. So we'll be practicing that in the workshop. So you'll be getting hands-on. So we hope that you're going to enjoy all the ideas that we've collected. This is going to be an introduction, and we're going to be having a further one, a partner one, in what my American friends call the fall and what I call the autumn. So in September, when there's another pair of eclipses in Pisces and Virgo, we'll be diving even more deeper into topics. We'll be asking for your feedback on what you've particularly enjoyed, what you want to look into more deeply. So we hope you've enjoyed all these ideas that we put together in the workbook, where we try and walk you through everything to identify your own eclipse story for the next 18 months. So that will be there for you, whether you decide to go ahead with a reading or not. So together we're going to be navigating these realms of fate, flow, and transformation, empowering yourselves to travel this ever-evolving landscape of your life with greater clarity and purpose. And that's what astrology is here for, to recognize these patterns and then learn how to apply it to your own life. Let's see if I can change it. There we go. What to expect. Where is it? It's going to be on Zoom. There's also going to be a recording, so we don't expect that everybody's going to be able to make it live. And if you can't, still sign up. This is going to be the best price that you're going to get it available for. And it is really good value still. It starts at $18. It goes up to $52. So pay what you can afford, pay what you're happy with. It's by donation. So between $18 and $52. If you're buying at $52, you're subsidizing people who need to pay at the $18. We hope that many people will land somewhere in the middle. That's our wish, that if you're able to, you can pay somewhere in the middle. But if you need to pay 18, that's fine. And if you're in a position where you can help others and you pay at the 52, then you have the privilege of knowing that you're helping those people who need to pay the 18. When? It's going to be on the 12th of March at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm in the UK, so for me, it's going to be later. It's going to be early evening. You will get a Zoom registration that's going to ask you some questions when you register, so that we've got your details ready for the breakout sessions, if you want to have your chart read, and that will give you the exact time in your time zone. So I rely on that. I do ask Alexa and Siri to translate the time, and I sometimes get different answers. So I'm not always confident with my time changing skills. So I rely on what Zoom says, add it to my calendar, and then I know I'm going to be there on time. And we're going to have those breakout sessions, those mini readings following the eclipse presentation. So the plan at the moment is to have 2 hours of the presentation where we'll be teaching. We're going to have a chat box open so you can chat either amongst yourselves, make friends with other people who are there live, and connect with other people who have an astrology interest. And also the Q&A will let you bring your questions that are specific to the content that we're sharing with you. So we'll be answering your questions as we go. And who? That's going to be Astero Sophia Kairos, this collective that we've got of 5 astrologers. So what's this live eclipse readings are all about? These mini live readings. So there's going to be 2 hours of presentation and then these breakout rooms. So these are going to be smaller groups. It's not going to be the main group. Each one of us 5 astrologers is going to be leading one group, and it's going to be a maximum of 10 people in the group, depending on how many people register. And that's why we're saying book quickly, because spaces are limited, because we don't want those breakout rooms to be too big. This part won't be recorded, so that's why you need to, if you want to be there for this part, you need to be there live. So we do apologize that it's on a working day. We are aware of that, but have you got any idea? Getting 5 astrologers together on a working day is like herding cats. It's very hard. We've all got individual commitments. People have children, people have other work commitments, some of us have day jobs as well. So it is very difficult to get a time when we're all together, and that's how it's worked out for us. So we do apologize. We do hope in future, if we can do another one, that's maybe going to be at a weekend to try and make it easier, and maybe to catch people who couldn't make it live this time as well. But the plan is 2 hours of presentation, maybe a comfort break, and then we'll have like an hour of these mini readings. And if you want to volunteer your chart, we're not going to read anything that you're not comfortable with us reading. You can tell us if there's topics you want us to avoid, and we will answer your questions. We're not going to go places that you don't want us to go and suddenly start revealing insights about you that you don't want to discuss in a group setting. So we're really going to be focusing on the March 2025 eclipses, because that's what's happening now. But we'll be reading for the eclipses generally, for the Pisces Virgo eclipses. And we've got some tricks up our sleeves as well to help. Eclipses can be pesky to delineate and to predict, because they are unpredictable by nature. They're like this chaotic energy. They can bring things in that we don't expect. That is the nature of eclipses. But we have some ways that we can like tease out your themes and get some ideas for you. So we'll focus on that, but we can also answer any questions that you have, time permitting. It depends on how many people are in the room with you and how many people want their charts read. So that is going to be like worked out on the go. But if you've looked at how much a mini reading would normally cost, then you'll be aware that the cost of the workshop, the mini reading, the workbook, and everything all rolled into one is still less than the cost of one mini reading. So that is the fantastic value that you're getting. Okay. So don't miss out. Do join us. You're going to get clarity and community. You're going to get this insight into the Pisces and Virgo eclipses, a chance to ask questions, a chance to deepen your astrology practice and connect with fellow seekers, a chance to get to know us, the Astero Sophia Kairos astrologers. If you want to, you may not want to hear from us anymore, in which case don't join. But if you do, if you want to spend that time with us, spend that 3 hours with us, please come and join us. And connect with the others that are in the room. It's a great chance to develop community as well. A lot of us astrologers start off learning alone, like Googling and reading books. And you find when you meet community, meet people in real life, and I count Zoom as in real life these days because this connecting live is such a gift. And even when you're watching the recording, you feel like you're meeting people when they're talking to you face to face and meeting live and in the real moment rather than a dry presentation that's, you know, that's just reading off a screen. Um, it has a certain magic and charm. So I do encourage you to join up and take that chance to connect with the Stereosphere Kairos, and also, you know, to join with our future offerings. You'll have a chance to give some input and feedback on what you'd like to see us do in future. So we're open to be led by you and what you want to see. And certainly, I did an exercise at the beginning of the year for Celestia Astrology, and I asked what do people want from Celestia Astrology, and the feedback was loud and clear. They wanted workshops, workshops and webinars. People, that's what you want. So here it is. We got to work straight away. We rolled up our sleeves and we were like, right, what can we do? What's important this year? And it was eclipses. So here it is. We've heard you. So we do listen, and we do, when we get the same feedback from multiple people, we know that that's what we need to be doing. And there's limited spots because of the breakout rooms, and the need to keep it manageable. We can't read for 50 people in an hour, so it is limited spots. So it is important that you sign up early to make sure that you get your place because of that reserved availability. It will be for sale. The recording of the presentation will be for sale afterwards, but of course you'll miss the opportunity to join the live breakout readings. So do you have any questions? I can't see the chat right now, but when I stop the share, I will check the chat, and I'll be checking the chat after as well. So if you've got, what's your biggest, most pressing question about eclipses, do leave that in the chat and in your comments, and I will try and get to them all and answer them. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know a little bit more. Have I answered everything you need to know about the actual workshop? If you've got a comment or a question about the workshop, leave that as well. Stay updated, please. Like, subscribe, engage with us. That is our currency. The work that we do online, we live and breathe for it, but also we need your engagement to keep going. If you don't engage with us, we assume that it's not working, and we start to wonder what we need to change. So do let us know when something's working. Do turn on your notifications, and when you subscribe, you will be notified when new things come out. So get the updates, learn what we're planning and what we're releasing. So don't forget, it's on March the 12th, 2025, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and please do adjust for your time zone. You can attend live on Zoom, but if you can't, don't worry, you will get the recording. You will get the workbook still. So it's still fantastic value at that price. It will be for sale afterwards, but the price will go up. So it is important to register now and to get in before the spaces have all gone. So the Pisces Virgo Eclipses workbook will be sent to you before the event, so you'll have it in advance. You can study it, and if you want to, you don't have to. It's not compulsory. It won't matter if you haven't before the event. And again, just to remind you, it's hosted by astrologers Krista Hamilton of Practical Astros, Sonia Geary of Celestia Astrology, Shauna Middleton of Smart Astros, Janessa Quinn of By Job Astrology, and Mandy Ray of Ecstatic Astros. That's us. That's Asterae Sophia Kairos. And just ask. That's how you remember us. And here is the sign up link. If you can get us, but you can go to ko-fi.com and search for Eclipses workshops, or search for, we haven't had much engagement yet, so it is quite hard to find us, so it is easier to get the link and find us that way. But you can find it, we're on Substack, and we've all been sharing it, so you can find that link on anywhere that you can find any of us, and I will put it in the show notes as well. I think it's there already. So that is it. I'm going to stop the share. I don't want to stop the stream. Don't see anything in the chat. Oh, Shauna, yay. Hi, Shauna. Shauna's here. So you can ask Shauna questions too. Yeah, I don't see how I can stop the share without risking stopping the stream. So yeah, Shauna and I, we're both so excited. Shauna's done so much work on the workbook. So that's been a collaboration between her and myself, and Krista's made beautiful graphics for the workbook. I've never written a workbook before. So yeah, we are super excited about that. So yay. Um, do join us. We are so excited, and we need your feedback. We need to know what we're going to do going forward as well. So I'm going to wrap up now if there's no other questions. Please do put any questions that you've got in the chat. I'm going to be checking it in on it every day between now and the actual workshop. So I will catch any questions that do come up between now and then. Okay, thank you for listening. Sorry I've gone on so long and babbled, but I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye.